You're watching WCSH6 Portland. More people get their news from WCSH News Center 6 than from any other local news source.
This weekend, a little over a dozen families dealing with aphasia have come to the Pine Tree Camp in Rome for a little fun and for some tips on how to make communication easier. Aphasia is known as an acquired communication disorder that affects about 1 million Americans. People with aphasia have trouble speaking, reading, writing, and sometimes understanding what people are saying, but they have not lost any of their intelligence. Aphasia often affects people after a stroke. In fact, according to the National Aphasia Association, more than a quarter of stroke victims get it.
It's very similar to as if you were in a foreign country. If you were in a foreign country like France, you couldn't speak French or read French or understand French, but you would still be you. You would still have your cognitive skills.
As you can imagine, the condition can be very frustrating, and recovery is a very long process. This weekend's Andre R. Hemond retreat at the Pine Tree Camp is meant to improve the quality of life of those with aphasia. It's named in memory of a loving father who lost his career to the condition, but who never stopped smiling. Newsletter's Caroline Cornish has the story.
Yeah, I painted them, and that's what these are.
8 years ago, Leo Glaude never imagined he'd be able to hold a conversation, let alone do a TV interview. He had a stroke, and aphasia robbed him of his ability to communicate.
But when I first started, I didn't understand anything, couldn't talk or nothing.
But after years of treatment, he's the life of the dining hall at Pine Tree Camp.
Look what I'm gonna make you. A rock star. You're my rock star.
There you go.
Thrilled to be spending time with Anne-Marie Albiston and everyone else she and her husband Bruce invited to this retreat. Moments like this make Anne-Marie's day, too.
It's pretty emotional, and it's not because my father's not here. It's just, for us, it was a dream, and it became a reality.
Andre R. Hemond was Anne-Marie's father, a happy-go-lucky former French teacher and South Portland High School principal. He had a stroke in 2005.
Loved every second of being with young folks. It was his passion. And basically, after he had his stroke, he was robbed of his communication.
Hemond lived with aphasia until he died in 2011. He never gave up his good humor, but Anne-Marie watched him struggle to speak, read, and write.
I worked with him on a computer program. An apple would come up on the screen. Well, he knows that's an apple, but he might say, oh, bloop. And he thought he was saying apple. And I'd say, let's try again. And he'd say, boop. And he truly thought that he was saying it right.
Anne-Marie and Bruce noticed that the medical community didn't always understand aphasia. So they worked with Pine Tree Camp and the New England Rehabilitation Center to put together this aphasia retreat. Hemond knew about it, but he died before it started last year.
He would have had a blast.
A lot of the purpose of this week is to give people new strategies for how to communicate when they have aphasia, but it's also all about having a good time, even for people who have been left disabled because of their stroke.
Really just to come and have a good time, people to be understood.
And that's exactly what Leo says it's done for him.
Just people, we fall in love with all of them.
The Albistons couldn't agree more. In Rome, Caroline Cornish, News Center.
The Albistons are hoping to start an aphasia center where people suffering from the disorder can come to improve their quality of life. We have more information about aphasia on our website, WCSH6.com.